Unraveling the twisted world of buying and selling children for sex.
Advocates for those children say the arrest of the Dallas-based Backpage.com CEO is only half of the equation. Shutting down the website and others like it reduces the supply of sex trafficking victims who've been forced into prostitution. But what about the demand?
How do you reduce the number of Johns, people who will pay to do things nobody even wants to think about? KXAN's Alicia N. spent the day working to get us some answers.
Hey, good evening to both of you. Unfortunately, some tough answers in this situation because in any industry, supply and demand are really the driving forces here. In human trafficking, the demand to purchase sex lies in the hearts and minds of buyers. Simply put, without demand, there would be no supply. There would be no customers for traffickers. But as I found out today, it's putting a dent in the demand. That's the hard part.
It goes on every night, all up and down I-35.
It's happening here, hidden in plain sight.
And unfortunately, with the easy availability of pornography, you know, it just kind of stimulates the demand, and it's rampant.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children estimates in the last 5 years, the number of child sex trafficking cases on the internet has increased over 800%. Demand is driving the industry. One of the biggest problems are increased access to the internet.
I think now that there are those that may not have acted out on it in the past who are acting out on it now because it's a lot more available because of different places like Backpage and all the different sites.
Some advocacy groups argue there's not enough risk associated with the crime and not enough is being done to punish those who commit them.
These guys should be charged with a federal child sex trafficking crime. They should be on a sex registry for the rest of their lives. But 40% of these cases, only 40% of these cases make it to trial, and when they do, they get a misdemeanor for prostitution, not child sex trafficking.
Detectives working to put offenders behind bars agree.
If you could just get as much attention for these crimes as you do for an NFL game or something like that, it would be tremendous for us.
Just because one site is gone doesn't mean the demand is. So the work continues.
Is somebody going to fill that void? I believe so. And we'll be right there to be able to hopefully get one step ahead of them and be able to keep them from doing so.
Now, just to give you some perspective on how prevalent this is here, especially at home, the Assistant Attorney General told us Texas is the second highest in the nation for number of calls to the National Human Trafficking Resources Center. Houston has the highest number of trafficking victims in the country. Shannon.
Alicia, thank you so much. When survivors are rescued, healing takes so much time, and there is little funding for specialized shelters like a place called The Refuge. This month, it hopes to break ground on a ranch here in Austin with 48 beds for girls ages 11 to 17. And that's actually a lot of beds when you consider this.
Right now, there's only 350 beds nationwide for these children. There's over 13,000 animal shelters, if that gives you a perspective on how important, you know, kids are to us currently.
The Refuge says if they can meet their goal of raising $2 million by the end of December, they could be open by the summer of 2017.